here to perpetrate the most massive interference in an election in American history. It would violate the sacred trust that the American people have placed in you and have placed in them. The American people decide elections. They have one coming up in 9 months. They're asking you to do something that no Senate has ever done. And they're asking you to do it with no evidence.
So there you see Pat Cipollone, the White House chief legal counsel, and President Trump and his team, they made their case yesterday, are starting to make their case. And what he was saying is basically this is just all about the election. This is Democrats trying to rewrite history and change the outcome of the 2020 election as we look ahead to it. But we've got Dan Bongino, a Fox News contributor, former Secret Service agent, and NYPD officer as well. So, Dan, I'm sure you were watching yesterday. How'd the president's team do?
Well, they did. I mean, they did great. They completely decimated, destroyed, and annihilated the really awful, horrible case Adam Schiff and the rest of the crew tried to make. And here's the issue. Here's why it worked. Pat Cipollone, Trump's attorney, President Trump's attorney, did a masterful job. And it worked well because there's a problem with this case, Lisa. And the problem with the case is it doesn't exist. There is no case. Listen, I get it. I'm a conservative. Obviously, I don't make any bones about that. But seriously, trying to view this objectively as a former federal agent and police officer who's testified in court, made cases, had a whole career building cases against people, there are no facts here. Lisa, can we point out the obvious? That this is supposed to be a high crime and misdemeanor, correct? Right. I mean, that's what we impeached the president for. Who's the victim? Anyone on the couch? Well, anyone Dan, who's the victim?
Dan, you say you want to be objective. You say you want to be objective, and so we also heard the Democrats, Chuck Schumer and others, saying that what the defense did is make a strong case that witnesses should be heard. As you remember, in the Clinton impeachment, there were some deposed, not live witnesses, but deposed. Shouldn't, based on what the defense put forward, that there was no firsthand accounts, and now they're calling for witnesses that are firsthand accounts. Shouldn't we have witnesses?
Witnesses for what, Griff?
For
what? Who's the crime? I'm dead serious. I'm asking you the question. So let's just be clear here. Griff, if you tell me who the victim is in this case, I'll tell you we need a witness to the crime for the victim. Who's the victim?
Listen, I'm not arguing.
No. Come on, answer the question. Who's the victim?
I'll play devil's advocate.
Answer the question. Who's the victim?
But Dan,
you can't answer the question. Wait, time out. Now, listen, I'm the guest. Let me say this. Guys? Who's the victim?
That's right. I'll be
There is no victim. What do you want a witness for? A bank robbery that didn't happen?
Dan,
There's no victim.
They would say the victim is the Constitution, Dan.
See, that's what I was going to ask.
That's what it is.
Dan, the House managers.
That's BS.
I presume the House managers would tell you that one of the victims is the American people for not hearing from these witnesses. Here's the deal, and I said this in the last hour. It's a foregone conclusion that the president gets acquitted. We know that. 20 GOP senators are not going to vote, particularly given the evidence, it's facts and case that the managers have put on. But will we see the witnesses? Does this, as Pete suggests, get wound down and end about basically a week from today? Or do you think that we should listen to every single thing that's available out there?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't have an issue with witnesses as long as we can get Alexandra Chalupa, Nellie Orr, Hunter Biden, and the fake whistleblower up there, too. Then if we want witnesses, you want to play ball? Okay, great. Let's play ball. And I want this, too, here. I'm going to show you this article. I'm going to even underline it for the audience, for the liberals who have a tough time with facts. Remember this Politico piece here? I took my Sharpie out. Politico. Not Dan Bongino, not Bongino.com, Politico. I underlined it for the dopey liberals who can't read. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage. Who does that say? Wait, let's underline that twice. Stand by, audience. This is for the really dopey ones. Efforts to sabotage Trump. 2 underlines. Backfire. Are we going to get witnesses in that one, Griff? I'm just asking. And one more thing. I found it interesting that Pelosi, when the whole witnesses thing came up, Nancy Pelosi said, hey, listen, we need to get to the facts and the truth. Wait, time out. Tio, throw a flag on the field. You're telling me You just impeached the president and you just acknowledge you don't have the facts or the truth? This is ridiculous.
Well,
There's no victim.
Let's stay on the
Zero.
guy who has been happy to posit story time and speculation in Adam Schiff. He made, setting aside the evidence portion of it, just a huge fumble standing in front of senators and impugning their motives. And when he said, your head's going to be on a pike, you know the president will come after you if you don't vote the way the White House wants you to vote. And you heard audible gasps of senators saying that's not true. Well, he doubled down on it. Here's what Adam Schiff saying, defending that comment. Watch.
The problem they have is they don't want to talk about the evidence. They don't want to talk about the conditioning of military aid. They don't want to talk about the solicitation of foreign interference. They just want to attack the House managers. As a prosecutor, I've seen it time and time again. When your client is guilty, when your client is dead to rights, you don't want to talk about your client's guilt. You want to attack the prosecution.
Take it away.
Listen, Schiff's really one of the worst tactical politicians I've ever seen. His whole goal here is to flip 3 or 4 Republican senators so they can get rules changes and witnesses. And the ones he's trying to flip, Susan Collins and others, Murkowski, were the ones that were most offended by this. This guy's really not that bright, in addition to being the worst liar up in the Congress, and we already knew that one.
That's a good point. And the New York Times, by the way, agrees with you, Dan, yesterday, saying GOP senators not being swayed at all.
Of course they do, because I'm right.
That's right. And I'll get Griff to tell me what his answer is in the break, and I'll text it to you,
Yes!
Dan. Or I'll text
me.
it to you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Thanks,
that.
Dan.
Get him. Put him on the record.
You're the best.
Thanks, Dan. Have a great day.
See you guys.